if you feel like certain parts of the story are better, that's fine. But as far as the actual writing goes, you didn't read a word I wrote. You read a translation of words I wrote. But yeah, sure.
Is that what Jesus is saying too? He's like, guys, I didn't say that. Like, you guys translated it all wrong.
Yeah. It could be a very faithful translation. I'm sure, readers do seem to be enjoying it. So I'm sure it's a great translation. But, like, it's a really weird style note to give somebody when you've read their book not in its native tongue, and that's what your comments are about, is the use of language. Rather than like, I could have done with less monsters and more cosmologies,
I could have done with less
monster sex.
I could have done more with that, to be honest with you.
Why wasn't there more? I bet you the man made you cut it out. You could be so much better if you stuck to your guns about this monster sex I made.
If you had really explored the monster sex more, I think that this could have been a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, this would have won the Man Booker Prize. Yeah, so I'm lucky that that's the first time it happened, and honestly, I know the guy meant well, so I didn't go after him.
Did you respond? That's what I was going to ask. Did you respond to him?
I did. Basically, I was just like, "Thanks for the support. Hope you enjoy the next one too," and just completely.
I think that's probably the best way for you to handle that, though, because like you don't want to alienate him, like you don't want to to be like, hey, bye. Yeah, like you don't want to be like, hey, fuck you. Don't ever fucking tell me what to do,
That's why I talked about it on Facebook instead of Twitter, because I think he follows me and I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah, I think that you handled it the best way that you could. My other podcast, the one in Arlington, is not that big, so people don't really go, hey, like, your podcast could be a whole lot better if you did this. I haven't made that. I have not that level of famous yet. No one's like coming, like gunning for me now.
And that's not even like really gunning. That's just, that's somebody who genuinely thinks they're being helpful.
Yeah, I think that was some of the debate, right? Like, you were like, was he being genuine, or was he like being a dick about it? But you feel like he was genuine. Like, you don't feel like he was trying to be a douchebag about it.
No. And I think if I were a woman, or if, a person of color, or if this had happened to me a bunch of times, I would probably have reacted differently. But because I have that white male privilege, I could brush it off and be like, oh, look at this funny little anomaly.
Right. Like, oh, that's outside the norm.
Yeah. If I were a woman trying to do this same job, I don't know if I'd be able to stick with it, because people are the fucking worst.
Yeah. Some of the ladies that did talk about on your Facebook were like, oh yeah, that happens to me all the time in all areas of my life. And that was unfortunate. Like, it's not that I didn't know that happened, right? But like,
just seeing how many.
Right? Yeah. They were like, "Oh yeah, this happens all the fucking time," and it's like, "Oh my god, I thought we were making progress, and clearly we're fucking not." And I guess we are making progress, but like, not enough, right? Because like, my daughters are still gonna have to deal with this. Like, you just know that they're gonna have to deal with this. Like, unfortunately, like it's not 1920 anymore, No. But like, we're still living in a time where there's a large group of men who are like, oh, but no, sweetie, no.
Yeah.
You can't do these things.
Who think they're being helpful. Like, I think they genuinely think they're being helpful, which is so infuriating.
Right. It's like it's like patronizing, right?
Yes,
like, oh, you just don't know any better, as they're like patting you on the head, and it's like, no, but I do.
I have a doctorate in this subject, dickhead.
Yeah.
You see so much of that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I were a woman, I don't know if I could be on Twitter. Like, I don't know if I could handle the volume of dick pics that would come your way.
Oh man, I like just like talking to my female friends and like asking, because I'm curious, like, hey, what's that like? And they're like, a constant deluge of dick pics, and I'm just like, oh, okay. And I was like, in my mind, it was like, oh yeah, of course it happens, right? I just right. you hear that it happens, of course it happens. No, it happens a lot. Like, it's not like I'm not saying it happens to every woman all like 24 hours a day, right? But like, it's,
yeah, every woman 24 hours a day. It's a CNN
breaking dick pic. This just into the CNN newsroom.
Appears.
His dick
your
appears.
living room.
No, it's just dick.
Sitting behind a news desk with some papers, wearing a sports coat.
I have talked to my female friends and asked that, and some of them say like, oh, well, it happens every once in a while, and some of them say no, it happens. And I think now that we're getting older, it may not happen to them as much, but like,
yeah,
it's just the ubiquity of being able to just be like, take your phone and shit. People are, I guess they just, I don't know, man. I don't get it. I've never sent an unsolicited dick pic. So like, I don't understand the rationale behind it. Like, I've never thought like, I think this person would like to see my dick.
Who could really use a pick-me-up right now?
Because first off, why does dicks aren't even that interesting? Number one, number two, the
internet exists. If a woman wants to see a dick, she has unlimited resources.
Yeah, she can find a nicer looking dick. I promise.
Like a professional dick. Yeah,
mm-hmm. People get paid for that.
A dick for hire. Yeah.
I don't. So
no, I dick for free.
I'm an amateur dick picker.
Come visit my dick's Instagram. It keeps getting deleted, but I'm hanging in there.
Trying to make it fun, put little hats on it.
Kurt Loder sports coat. Breaking nudes.
Breaking nudes. I don't understand it, and I wish that it didn't happen, because I know that it's a form of sexual harassment and assault.
Yes.
So, it's a very serious thing. We're making fun of it, but like, I also think it should be known that I'm appalled by.
Yeah. No, nobody should do this, but I guess we're appalled. But there's also just like, there's this thing I see on social media is like, God grant me the confidence of a mediocre white man. And it's like, never have I looked at my dick and thought, the world needs to see this. Right? I'm just like, thank God pants exist. I am so ashamed of you. I hate you so much.
Thank God that pants exist and that I have a wife who wants to bang me, because I'm just not sure that.
In the modern dick pic game, I just would lose. Like in the Hunger Games that is getting ladies to notice you, I would be one of the ones who's killed in the first act.
Oh, the fucking baker got more play than I did.
So that oh God, could you imagine? Well, I mean, I guess you kind of did, because you were previously married and then you dated, before you got married again. So you actually did do some dating in the more modern era. I can't even imagine what that's like, if that makes it better or just so much worse. I don't know.
I think that it's probably both. Like, on the one hand, it's easy to be like, yo, let me snap a pic to send to someone. But like, on the other hand, like, that shit can, like, who knows where it ends up after that? Like,
yeah.
What if you like send like, and for women, I think it's even worse, right? Like, if I have a dick pic floating around out there, I don't give a fuck.
Prove
like,
it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, okay. Like,
unless there's a picture of you holding today's paper and the dick.
And like pointing at my dick being like.
Yep, that's mine, ladies.
And there are no pictures like that. I can tell you that. But like, again, I'm not, even if like someone was like, I'm going to send this to all my friends, I would be like, I would be embarrassed, like, if I knew these people, but other than that, it's like, okay, well, if a stranger sees it, who cares? But like, I think, obviously like revenge porn and all that kind of stuff, like it can spiral out for women, I think, so much worse than kind of like everything else.
Yeah, I was going to say, like everything in life, women seem to have it a little bit worse.
Not a little bit, but quite a bit worse.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm downplaying it a bit.
Yeah, man, I don't want to end on a bummer note.
So instead, let's talk about these book plates that I've got.
You have book plates? Oh, yes, I did. I didn't know that they were. I just thought it was like the cover of the book. I mean, it is, but
I mean, it's a sticker though. So like, my UK publisher sent me like 500 of these.
My wife wants one of those so bad.
Well, tell her that was what I was going to say. If anybody who listens to the show is a fan of the book and wants a signed book plate, the ones that I'm working on right now are all spoken for, but my UK publisher has promised to send me some more. Like at first they were like, oh yeah, you can keep some of those. And then my publisher wrote me back and he was like, actually, we're going to need all those, but I'll send you some more. So, that's good news, right? It's like, hey,
that's very good news.
All 500, book plates.
Not that I don't have like 2 signed copies of your book.
Yeah,
and
but
I
this
imagine
one's got a wolf on it. Yeah.
When I see you again, we'll have you sign the French version that we bought too, because that cover is baller too.
I have not signed a French version yet. I should work on a French salutation.
We had to
Bonjour.
You need to work harder than that. We had to buy it from like the French Amazon, like not like a rainforest, the French Amazon, like not a colony that's a French.
I understand you didn't go to a non-existent rainforest in Europe.
Or that they had colonized part of the rainforest in
a French
Amazon,
colony, yeah.
Right? I mean, that's more plausible than
much. That's not as funny.
It's not near as funny. But we did have to buy. Like, I remember having to convince they were like, no, but you want to go to American Amazon, and I'm like, no, I typed in .fr, motherfucker. I know where I want to go.
I am here on purpose.
But we bought it, and it took fucking a month till I get here.
I really am gonna write bonjour in your wife's book.
You totally should. That's all you should write. That and your name. Bonjour.
Not even sign it.
Yeah, the author signed this. Well, what are you talking about? It just says bonjour. Yeah, but that's his handwriting. And they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like,
footage of me getting on a plane in South America, laughing to myself quietly. I got away with the world's biggest crime.
I think if anyone ever called me on it, though, I would just be like, hold on, and just FaceTime you and be like, Shaun, can you just tell them that you wrote this? And I'm like, yeah, I wrote that.
What if I acted like I didn't know how you got my
Who are you?
What the fuck? How are you on my computer?
I'm like, but let me look at okay, Phil, let me show you the podcasts we do together, and you've deleted all of them. Completely.
And untagged myself in all of the photos on Facebook.
Our friendship doesn't exist on the internet.
I pranked you that hard. Made you think that you were crazy. I gaslighted you into thinking we'd never been friends.
Hey, thanks for sticking up for me in gym class, you schmuck.
Here's your payback. 23 years later, with interest.
I didn't need your fucking help then. This has all been a ploy. I made it.
Teach you a lesson.
Keep your shit to yourself.
I had that shit handled. Goodbye forever.
Man, that would be the ultimate. People would talk about that. Yeah, that you should write that as your next book.
I don't know if I can write that meme. That's so cruel.
A 23-year gaslighting joke. I'm not even sure that it's a joke at that point. It's just cruel.
Yeah, it's just mean. Yeah, don't gaslight people.
It's not cool. Don't send them unsolicited dick pics. Don't gaslight them.
Don't gaslight them into thinking that they asked for that dick pic either.
No one asked for a dick pic
unsolicited. But don't let anybody gaslight you into giving up a dick pic either.
Mm-mm. Or other nudes. If you're a woman, you know what? I don't know. If you were a woman and you want to give nudes, that's fine. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. Do you want to get one more sponsor before we take the show off the road?
Yes. One more bill.
You know, clearly we have web hosting to pay for. We're gonna have to take
We're
this.
Holding a special on Proton charging this month.